We have this awesome giant nutcracker here. The problem is he doesn't have a name. So,
The obvious question is, what should we name him?
that is up to you guys. I want you in the comment section down below to comment what you think his name should be. My favorite name will win the Fin Pin. Make sure your names are all school appropriate because this is a family friendly channel. Right now, we're going to use our little golden tape to cover up our paint lines. It wasn't exactly perfect, so we're going to cover it with this. We did it down here, so that's how it's going to look. So I'm going to start right at the top and drag it down to the bottom. We want to make this as straight as possible so it looks nice. And then make sure you cut it straight. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to make our beard. So I'm gluing it on there with some hot glue. There.
Very nice.
Thank you. We just hot glued on some little diamonds and used our duct tape to put some lines. So now what we're going to do is we have these little cute gold buttons and we're going to put them down the line. We're just going to use hot glue to put these on. One. Here's the second one. Be careful if you do this because the buttons have the little holes in them and the hot glue can seep through and it could hurt your fingers. Then we're just going to repeat this for the rest. Here we've got our eyes. For what I used for the eyes is I used a white piece of duct tape, some blue duct tape that was a little textured, and then just another tiny little black piece of duct tape. We're going to use these as eyes, and this can stick right on so that we don't have to go through the hassle of paint. Okay, so with our eyes that I showed you earlier, they've got a little back on them, so I can just peel this right off, like that, nice and easy. And I can stick them on where I want. So let's see. My nose is going to, let me grab my nose. My nose is going to be about right there. And I want an eye to be right there. And I'll do the same for the other eye. The eyes are super easy to make. So I did it in about 5 minutes. Does that look level, Mom?
Yes.
Perfect. Now we have his eyes on. So now we have our nose. I made this out of a doorstop, but I kind of rounded it a little bit. I only took a few minutes sanding it. Then we just spray painted it pink. I'm gonna put some hot glue on the back. And just put our nose on. Looks good. So we're we're using basically the same kind of duct tape that has the little thing on the back. So what we're gonna do is we made our mustache and we're gonna stick it on. Right there.
Looks good, Finn.
Thanks.
Finn's mom and Finn, we were just talking about how this is so much more like Finn's mom to be doing the decorating part, right, Finn?
Yes. My mom is good at decorating. Is that about the same, Mom?
I think it needs to go over up to the right just a little bit.
Good?
Yes, that looks good.
Sometimes it's nice if you have another person to tell you if it needs to go over or less more. That looks good. So now what we're going to do is, again, we have the same thing for the eyebrows. What we did is for this little line right there, we just used a Sharpie. So I'm going to use the same thing as we used for the mustache and put it on there. Is that straight?
Yes.
Great. Thanks, Finn's mom. Is that straight?
Yes.
Great. I'm filling in some paint chips with a Sharpie. I just have a bigger one, so I figured I'd use it. So over here, if you can see that, there is some white. This was probably from when we dropped it. So if I cover it in with just a black marker, Sharpies will work fine. Looks a lot better. Then I'm going to continue doing that, and then I think we're almost done. So for our hat, we got a piece of fabric and covered a bucket. For our head, we did the same. For the hair and the bucket, we used duct tape for the eyebrows, eyes, and mustache. Then for the mouth, we used a just 3 pieces of ribbon, and again, the same stuff as the eyes for the teeth. And for the nose, we made it out of a piece of wood. Then we used buckets for the body. This belt we got from a Halloween costume. This stuff right here we got from those cheap gold beady necklaces. We used tape for the lines. We used little stick-on like diamond gems and golden buttons. Beard, we used the same cloth as the hair. PVC pipe for the arms and legs, except we used stovepipe. Hands, we used cans. Candy cane, we got from my grandma. And the boots, we just covered with cloth. My hat is from the Christmas Story House. Does anyone else like that movie? Comment down below. So that's how we made our nutcracker. If you watched part 1, the building, then we have some tips to make it a lot easier and less time consuming. First off, if you don't have a grinder to grind off of the little ridges on them, then what we would recommend doing is just putting a piece of duct tape over it and then spray painting it. This is a lot easier and will save you time. Second, for our legs, we used metal pipe. The PVC arms, they were so much easier. If you can get your hands on those, so much easier and will save you a bunch of time. Lastly, we had our 2 buckets attached to each other and glued. But what we realized, what was a lot easier that we ended up doing, was we had one bucket lid and then another one, but one right side up and one upside down, bolted to each other so that we could take him apart because he's really tall and hard to store. So this made him a lot easier to store, and those are some tips to save you a ton of time and money. Boy, that turned out awesome. If you haven't, Finn's dad, quit wobbling the iPad.
iPad? That reminds me of a joke, Finn.
Oh boy.
What do you get when you cross a Christmas tree and an iPad?
I don't know, what?
A pineapple.
I don't get it.
You never do.
Oh boy. If you haven't already, like I was saying, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.